On the loading screen, there's a tip that said you can kill yourself before you get infected. Yeah.
Why would I do that?
So so your friends don't get infected.
Oh, okay.
Hey, there's zombies by the way. Here, do you see zombies?
Yeah, I see them.
Alright.
I see them.
Are you gonna kill the zombies?
I thought
you
were
don't
gonna
see the
kill them.
zombies?
I thought you were gonna kill them. That was a clip from No More Room in Hell, which is one of the first games that I got to playing when I first started to go down this rabbit hole of trying to find a game that sort of appeals to what I want to get from a game. And turns out, wait, why is there a car over there? I didn't know there was a car over there. And turns out that was one of the few games that actually does the job when it comes to what I want from a game. Oh shit, oh fuck. However, it was not quite good, to be honest. I'd say it's one of the more undercooked sort of games out there. It just feels so weird to play, and like the quality of life is just not there. And for that reason, I feel like I couldn't quite get into it. But it did get me thinking, why are there no games that sort of use multiplayer games in a better way to like allow people to socialize more? But then like, what was No More Room in Hell about? So from what I remember, it was like a multiplayer game, but sort of like you have to survive against zombies. It's a bit like Left 4 Dead, except I think it's not as linear. Although to be quite honest with you, we didn't play it nearly enough for me to be able to tell you what exactly the game was about. However, what I can tell you is that this game had proximity voice chat, although it was poorly implemented, but it did have it. And I think that was like one of the main reasons why I started playing it in the first place. But again, the game was kind of a disappointment. But before I get into the video, I need to mention two things. First of all, everything that I'm saying here is completely just subjective, like this is what I think and what I want from games. So I'm not saying this is how all multiplayer games should be. I'm just saying this is personally what I want from games, what I wish games would do more. And I totally understand that the games that are there, they have their own sort of appeal. So the second thing that I want to talk about is the fact that there's some racing game footage going on in the background. So what's happening right now is that when I was making this video, I wanted to make a video where I'm basically playing the game as I give this sort of video as a sort of commentary on it. Playing it solo is kind of terrifying. And it also kind of defeats the purpose of this video. So I decided, you know what, I'll just wait till I find some friends to play with. And that didn't happen. And what was happening actually was that I was just procrastinating this video so much that I decided that I would just have to get a start. That I would just have to get a start and just start doing it. So I considered just like making the video, you know, without, I think my car is done for. Oh, it's over. So I did consider making the video where I'm basically just like talking over nothing, right? Like just commentary. But I think there's something endearing, right? About like just playing a game and talking over it. Kind of reminds me of like those commentary videos from the old times, right, where people are just talking over a game and
So guys, we did it.
I quite used to like those. So I'm gonna try and do this, even though I know it's gonna be a bit awkward for people who don't care about racing games. And it'll be even worse for people who do care about racing games, because they know what car this is and they know what track this is, and they know that I'm doing an absolutely horrible job at it. But in my defense, I am playing on a controller, and it is rather hard to control this thing, although I do think I'm doing exceptionally bad right now. But moving on to the video itself. First of all, what is my problem with multiplayer games? To begin with, I don't hate multiplayer games. I feel like games like Fortnite and Valorant have given me some of the most fun social interactions that I've had with people. I just feel like these games, they don't particularly seem to focus on the multiplayer aspect. And especially PvP games, right? Like, I hate PvP. I hate PvP games. But to be honest with you, I think PvP games come closer to what I want than most of these other games. Because especially like fighting games, they sort of need you to like hang out with friends and like be social in some way. I just suck at fighting games and like PvP games in general, so I just do not like it. And I have to be competitive. It's really just not my thing. But then again, what do I want from games? I kind of like it when games sort of need you to cooperate. in a way that like you actually need to like hang out together and have some fun. And it's kind of hard to explain this because I feel like I don't have a concrete idea of what I want exactly, but I can talk about experiences that can explain what I want. The first one that comes to mind is one of the first ones that let me have this experience, which was Grand Theft Auto Roleplay. If you've ever seen any clips of people playing Grand Theft Auto Roleplay or just roleplay games like Gmod in general, you probably know what I'm talking about. But these games on a mechanical level, they don't have much going on. Like for the most part, you'll just be like talking to people and doing some mundane stuff, right? But I think what makes it fun for me is the fact that you are like interacting with people. And that is like something that like, you just have to like, you don't have to have friends to play the game, right? Like you can just go there and like, let's say you want to get a burger. You go there, you buy a burger from a real person that is serving the burger. You actually give the order. I remember the first time I did that, I was like dying in social anxiety because I can't even order burgers in real life. So, like having to go in game and order a burger was about the most nerve-wracking thing that I had to do. And I just was not a fan of it. I hated it. But it was also so nice. It was just one of the most awful things that I had to do, but it was also fun. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I like this, right? Because I have social anxiety and like, for me, that is part of the adventure. Another thing that I can probably bring up in that course is probably Dungeons and Dragons, which is also roleplay. Like, and if you've noticed, a lot of the people when like the whole AI thing was around and like people were, you know, role-playing with AI, and like when people were talking about alternatives to using AI because, you know, AI bad and all that, one of the things that people talked about a lot was Dungeons and Dragons, because according to them, the experience of Dungeons and Dragons is not too far from what people want from AI, where NPCs can be real people and you can interact and do just about anything at all. And I feel like that is one of the things that I really want multiplayer games to do, right? Because you have other people. You don't have that in single player games. You have to have NPCs. But when you're playing something like a multiplayer game, you can have other people do the things that you would usually hand out to NPCs. And that does not happen in games. Like a lot of the games, like especially MMOs. MMOs are the worst for this. Like you play an MMO, right? You will have to... Why is my car stopping? What a shitty mechanic. It's not even that bad. Come on. MMOs are the worst for this because, like, it feels like a lot of them, at least the newer ones, they've sort of started to cater towards solo players, right? And it kind of sucks because I feel like a lot of these games, they would benefit so much more from being more social. But I'm pretty sure, like, there's some arguments against that because I'm not huge on MMOs. I don't really know enough about MMOs to be able to talk on the topic. But I'm just saying, the other major incident that I would say involves me, you know, engaging in this sort of social kind of game is Sea of Thieves. And Sea of Thieves is generally one of the best experiences that I've had, right? Because Sea of Thieves is an awful game, to be honest. When it comes to like the content, there is nothing to do. It is one of the most nothing burger games of all time. Like, you run out of things to do so quickly. Like, it's just one of those games where like, you play it for like maybe 3 hours and then after that you just realize that you're doing the same things over and over again. And it just gets so boring and brain numbing that you just don't want to do it anymore. But what it does do really well is it sort of makes you feel immersed in the world that you're in, especially because of the proximity voice chat. Yes, that game has proximity voice chat, which is one of the main things that I am talking about in this video. I love games that have proximity voice chat. I think it just makes everything so much better. The thing about Sea of Thieves is that it is a game about handling a ship, right? Like you can do it solo, technically. Of course, like any other game, you can do it solo. But also if you have a friend, you can sort of coordinate your moves together. And it makes it so much easier to do things. Especially like when you're in combat with another ship, it is so much easier when you have a friend who can like man the cannons or something like that. There are certain things about Sea of Thieves that achieve the fantasy that I want from multiplayer games. But the title of the video mentions Lethal Company. Why did my rear tire deflate? What the fuck? What? Okay, you know what? We're just gonna do it. Whatever. We're gonna roll with it. Lethal Company was the one thing that I mentioned in the title, and that's for good reason. Because again, Lethal Company sort of achieves everything that I wanted from a multiplayer game. I think the main focus that I really wanted was proximity voice chat, but one that is immersive. What does immersive mean? It means that the sound design actually reflects where you are. So it doesn't feel like it's like a video game voice chat system. It feels like you're actually talking in game and you're listening to each other through the game, not through like a voice chat system. That is one of the best things about Lethal Company. The sound design is just spectacular.
Oh my god. Dude, I'm fucked. Oh fuck.
Are you okay?
Oh fuck. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go.
Is it behind us? Don't just leave! Oh my god. Was it behind
He
us?
started chasing me. Yeah. It was right behind us.
Another thing that I think Lethal Company does really well is like even when you get the walkie-talkie, it still has a certain level of immersion to it. I mean, the battery is pretty much long-lasting and will last you the entire day. But it's the sound design for the walkie-talkies do sort of sell you on the idea that this is still something that is happening inside the world. And the fact that you have to like unequip an item to use your walkie-talkie, that is also something that I really appreciate about the game. Another thing that I really like about Lethal Company is the way it makes you feel lonely. So like when you're actually just chilling in the game, if you're with a friend, it is so easy to like not care. But once you're alone, once you get separated from a friend, it is like one of the most terrifying experiences you can have. Oh! Okay, what are we gonna do about this? Because it's kind of not... Okay, well don't do... What we're gonna do is we're gonna try and get it to like, get somewhere, and we need to like come here, like to this corner over here. We're gonna try and get it near us, and we're gonna go all the way from the other side. Come to the corner of the room. No, you can't. Don't go there. We need to get around it. Don't go there. Come here.
You done fucked out?
Come here. Jump, 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 jump. Just run and jump. Okay.
Oh fuck.
It's so sad because I really, really wanted a game like this, but the last genre of games that I want to play are horror games, and they just took the thing that I wanted, and they took the thing that I never wanted and merged them together, and now I'm just stuck playing Lethal Company. But that feeling of being alone is like one of the main things that I think like makes Lethal Company so much more special to me, especially when you've died, right? And like you have to slowly realize that you're the only person left. It is such a creepy feeling. It is such a good experience to have.
And there's a giant monster too.
Where?
Like right by our ship. I see it. It's just running back and forth. I see it. It's like underneath the pumpkin now.
What pumpkin?
Do you not see the pumpkin? There's a giant pumpkin.
You know what?
It's the
Let's
pumpkin.
just run.
No, the monster. It's right by the ladder. Don't do it. Do you see the monster now? Turn around.
Where is it?
You don't see the pumpkin?
No. Can you look where you're talking about? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yes. See? See?
What was that?
It was right by the pumpkin. I told you. It was right by the pumpkin. Oh my
What are we
god.
gonna do about this?
I'll kill it. I have a shovel. I have my wall hacks. I know where to go.
Alright. Oh, I see it. Wait, I'm gonna use my...
See?
Do you need the flashlight?
You
Okay, you know what? You go. I can hear it. No! Close it!
Oh fuck, the door!
No! There's like so many of these experiences that are like so cool to have, and I absolutely love that. Like, that is what I want from a game. I do understand the issues with this sort of game, right? The first one, obviously, is the fact that you need to play with good people. Like, if you play with awful people, your experience is going to be awful.
Oh. Oh, sorry.
You do it. You do it. Okay. Don't close the door. And that happens a lot. Like, it's kind of hard to find friends to play with unless you have a lot of friends, in which case, I hate you so much. I wish I was you. You can't really enjoy this game solo or with randoms as much as you would like. This game is focused on having 3 other people with you. It's not like an MMO where there's like thousands of people. It's literally just you and 3 other people. So that creates a massive problem. And I think another major issue that I have, especially in Lethal Company at least, the experiences get old kind of quickly. Like, again, on a gameplay level, the game is not too complex. It's more about the experiences that you have. It's only really fun to explore things for the first few times. Again, the game is not about the mechanics of it. It's more about the social aspect of it. Unless you really want to hang out with your friends, the game sort of ceases to be the point. And like, it gets boring to play, honestly. And this is also a problem that happens with, like, you know, Grand Theft Auto roleplay or any roleplay where it's like, these games are meant to be social devices rather than games. As a game, they just don't have enough to keep you going. Especially Grand Theft Auto roleplay, the server that I play on. It gets so boring to keep playing on it because you're just doing like the most mundane thing. Unless you have fun people to be with, it's just not fun after a certain point. Like, once you've seen it, you've seen it. That's it. And the last problem that happens with this sort of game, especially Grand Theft Auto roleplay, you remember how I said there was like a burger place that you had to go to eat burgers? Now imagine you go to a burger store and the server has 0 people in it, right? So when you go there, there's no one there. No players are online and no one can serve you food. So what do? You just can't be served food because everyone's offline. There's no one in the burger shop. And issues like that are what makes it really hard to make a multiplayer game that is multiplayer focused. Because at the end of the day, you do need to make sure it's accessible as a single player game, at least up to some limit, right? And that is sort of the difficult part. That is the difficult balance to strike with a game like this. And to be honest, I don't really know what the answer to that is. I wish this was a video where I was talking about it and I was gonna come up with a brilliant solution, but I don't have one. In conclusion, my point is that these games are kind of difficult to make because of the way you have to balance the social aspects, with it just being a fun game to play. But I do think it is one of those things that, like, even if most games don't follow this, and to be honest, they just shouldn't because of the issues that I mentioned, I do think sometimes it is fine for a game to be like that. You know, the experiences that you can have from like Grand Theft Auto roleplay or Lethal Company or, you know, Dungeons and Dragons, these things are, in my opinion, just priceless. And I really hope that more games sort of let you have that sort of experience. Yeah, and if there's ever any other game that sort of lets you have that sort of experience, you better bet that I will be one of the first people to get on that game. And if you actually do know any more games that sort of do this, then let me know. But I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna go and have some fun with my car here. See you guys later. Bye bye. Okay, there's an extra part here because turns out I watched a video recently which somehow happened to very directly address the I watched a video recently which very directly sort of addressed the problems that I was talking about here. It's actually really good and it's way better than this, so I would highly recommend you go watch that as well, because it also has some solutions about games that do this right and stuff like that. But what it made me realize was that one component that I completely forgot about in this one is that there is one major problem with things like these. When you make a game that is social, you also have to deal with people interacting with each other. And as most of you probably know already, people kind of suck. And interacting with people is also usually a really bad idea. And if you're part of any sort of marginalized group, I feel like you already know this. For me especially, because I'm non-binary. So what that means is, if you're watching this video, you are either understanding my problem completely or you are probably part of the problem. You can't really go around in spaces like these and have a lot of fun because of those people that will always be mean to you and, like, you know, just be dickbags for some reason. that is one of the main things that I feel like games have to consider, and I feel like that's one of the main reasons why more major titles sort of severely restrict the amount of social features you have. Because even if you have something like Overwatch, right, you can have all the moderation you want. It is still incredibly hard to keep the toxicity out, and gamers will always be like, "Oh well, you know, if toxicity exists, you can just deal with it, mute them, whatever," and they won't for a second consider that you should maybe just stop being a cunt, right? That's not really an option for them, and I think because of this, I do understand one of the main reasons why games like these aren't made now. I was trying to make it sound like no one has tapped into this. Now I sort of realize why no one has tapped into this. This is also why Lethal Company is one of those games you have to play with friends. Because playing with normal people usually is a bit of a bother. That is also the main reason why I don't play Grand Theft RP much, because you're gonna have to deal with people like that. And that always sucks. Is the car working? Okay, looks like. So because of that, I feel like we do have to consider that making these games is a bit of an issue. And I feel like what really would have been better is if people just stop being jackasses. But that's a tall order. But yeah, I'd highly recommend you watch that video because it is basically explaining the same point. So if you really found this video helpful in discussing the point, I think that one would be way better at it. And it also gives you some possible solutions into games that are actually really good at doing what I'm talking about. So yeah, bye bye. What are we doing?
I have a fish.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
You go there.
Alright.
You go there.
What? No.
No, you go there.
No, I can't.
No,
Why?
let's see you take a crack at it.
See, so like I can do it and I survived, but you do it
You're
and you
dead?
died.
Wait,
Yeah.
how did they not kill you? Did you not get close?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I did. I just ran away.
Well, I ran away too.
No, you're too late. You're too slow.
Dude, you suck at this.
Oh, I'm gonna suck you. Wait.
To complete the onboarding process.
Well, okay, here's what you do. You stay on the platform, and once the ship is landed, then you jump off, right?
Wait, I know that.
Oh my god.
Was it behind you? Was that?
There's a monster, like, right fucking here.
It's right behind us. I see it.
Oh my god.
What?
I'm gonna go take the risk,
That was a clip from No More Room. That was a random clip from Mono. That was a random clip from That was a random clip from No More Room in Hell. That was a clip from